Excuse me. Okay, we're gonna get started here soon. I'm just posting to some of the social media that I'm on that we are live. And then after that, we'll go ahead and jump right into it. Hello, it is Mega, aka the Art Messiah, here to save you from your art sins. Welcome back to another live drawing stream. It's been a really long time, and I do apologize for that. For those of you that were waiting or expecting for this to come back, I have been pretty busy with a lot of art stuff and just summer stuff in general, and a lot of changes happening and going on in my life right now. So there's just been a ton of stuff on my mind and a ton of stuff to do, but it feels good to be back to the drawing board. There has been some stuff that I've been working on since the last stream, and the reason I haven't streamed as much is because I've been doing different kinds of activities. So I'll just start off giving some quick updates for those of you that watch the stream afterwards, and then we're going to jump into some more casual conversation. But to start off, I just wanted to quickly review some things. So first of all, part of the time that was spent away was actually doing conventions. So I think I was at maybe 2 or 3 conventions since I last streamed. I was at Gem City Comic Con, Dream Con, and Matsuri Con. So I did 3 conventions. I created new artwork for those. You can find that stuff on my social media, specifically my Tumblr. That's where I'm going to be updating a lot more of my stuff. And actually, speaking of which, I do want to show you guys a little bit about my Tumblr, but I'm going to kind of jump into this next thing first. So yeah, part of it was doing new art, part of it was going to conventions, and the third part of it was actually switching from drawing to doing coding. And I was coding for about a month, maybe like 3 weeks, and I was working on my website. And so I want to showcase that. I think I've shown it off a little bit in previous, I don't know if the previous stream, but I know I've shown it to a couple of people. There's a few things that I want to tweak and fix for the mobile version, but the desktop version of the website is great looking and it's live, and I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm going to go ahead and show that right here at the beginning, and I'll show it at the end as well when potentially there's more people actually here. This is a surprise stream, and I do apologize for that. It kind of decided that I would rather do it in the morning where I'm kind of fresh, have energy, and want to get into some drawing anyways. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out this new website that I've been working on. Okay, so here we have the landing page for the website. I'm pretty excited about this because this is kind of like my fix for a lot of I guess kind of like stress and strain that I've been feeling having so many different social medias. And so I really wanted to simplify down all the places that I'm at and really make use of each different platform while congregating it onto one website. So let me quickly go over this. So I have a couple of sections here. I have a section for my goals. That's in the upper left. That's going to be updated soon. As you can see, those are some older goals. So I want to get that up to date very quickly. But right underneath that, we see my newsletters that I have, and this is being pulled directly from my newsletter that I have hosted on Substack. So every time I make a post, a new newsletter, this is updated on my website. And then here in the center, which takes the center stage, is my Tumblr blog, which I did a custom embed for. So it's very clean, and you can quickly see, artworks that I've done, videos that I'm making. Basically, that's kind of like the main feed. The things to the side are kind of the secondary information that's kind of helping the experience and things that I do that are tangential to art, but still feed directly into my art. Okay, so scrolling through here, you can see a commission that I did at MatsuriCon. Scrolling more, you can see some artwork that I made to sell at the previous conventions. I did a Hobie artwork, which was pretty popular. So I need to make some reprints of that actually, because I sold out of my small prints. And so yeah, this Tumblr embed is gonna have it all. So you can always visit, my main Tumblr page if you want to get even more details. Sometimes I don't post everything here to the website, but again, this is kind of live updated. So if you ever want to know things that I'm working on or doing, pretty much just come to this page. And again, this is my Tumblr, not my Tumblr. This is my blog section for my website. If we click on latest, you're gonna see, my comic. Again, this is, I'm going through a rewrite, all right? So the story that I have up here is cool and everything, but I'm gonna be erasing basically all that I have in my archive and kind of starting from scratch, and we're gonna go from there pretty much. But yes, just click on blog and it's gonna take you to the blog, and you can listen to music, you can see my goals, you can see what's going on in the newsletter, and all my art and YouTube videos that are coming out. And so I just want to demonstrate the music portion as well. If you come over here, you can click the play button here, or you can click on any of these songs and it will play. But yeah, you can hear, I call these like beat snacks. They're not full-length songs, but they're basically ways for me to just experiment with music and how I'm going to be combining that with my story. And so you guys really get to see everything kind of building from the ground up. So we can have that music kind of playing in the background, I guess, for now. But yeah, so today I want to work on a few things, and I'll go ahead and list them out so I can give myself somewhat of an agenda. I hope to stream to about 10:30. But I'm going to start off with some anatomy practice. I want to review some of the structure and anatomy for the torso, and then we're starting to learn about how to draw the legs. So again, for that, I'm going to start with the upper leg, which is the thigh and all the muscles there. But this is just practice. I'm going to make more anatomy videos in the future. Right now, I'm studying, I'm learning, and all that kind of thing. So I will kind of show you guys and teach you guys what resources I'm using to do that. If you guys want to not wait for, my YouTube video to come out and you want to kind of study yourself, I will, hopefully be able to point you to the right direction. Okay, well, let's first go ahead and get started just working on the torso stuff. I'm going to check back in on my stream just to make sure everything is streaming correctly. Okay, and you guys can just let me know if the music is too loud or too quiet. You can help me adjust the levels as we go through here. But yeah, this is just going to be my music playing in the background for now. And let's get to some drawing. Once I get into the flow of things, I'll be back with just like talking more about stuff and life in general. But yeah. As per usual, feel free to ask questions in the chat, and I will try to respond to them as best as I can. So let's go ahead and hop in here and start defining some of these muscles and kind of just remembering the placement of everything. So first of all, we have our pectorals that are sitting right here. There we go. Then our abdominis muscles, you know, I like to kind of bring these down center of the chest, and these go all the way down to the bottom here. We typically have a tendon, not typically, we do have a tendon that runs to the side of the abdominis, right? And I do want to show the rotation here. That's what's in the reference photo that I'm currently using. And then we want to show that our external oblique kind of rests up in here, something like this. And your serratus anterior, it connects to the pectoral off to the side like this. And then your latissimus dorsi, kind of connects here to the back, and it's gonna go like this, and it's gonna go something like that. All right. All right. You're gonna have your clavicle. Okay. You have your trapezius, and then your neck. So I'm just gonna draw in as like that kind of shape for now. Now we're not getting too much into the arm muscles, but I will just go ahead and kind of show the beginning of that. And I'm purposely drawing like exaggerated muscled people, just so I can clearly see what's exactly going on. And then in the future, you know, when you're designing other characters, you can just tone down some of the muscle shapes and stuff. But the key thing is that you know where the muscles are. So you really want to kind of have that pinned down and figured out. Again, if you like the music that you hear, you can find all the music on my website, which is just a direct embed from my Bandcamp. So feel free to check out my Bandcamp. I'm going to be uploading more and more stuff there. And this is definitely just kind of like the beginnings. So the serratus interior, kind of come down like that, all the way down to this lower oblique, something like that. And then what I like to do is I like to continue these lines at the point for the external oblique, because that's kind of the texture of the muscles, even for the external obliques, like that. Okay. And then we're looking into about how many divisions. You can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divisions for the rectum abdominis. I think it's between 5 or 6. Just depends on the human how many you're gonna have. Or maybe it's like 5 and 4. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, maybe it's between 5 and 4, not 5 and 6. Well, I take that back because you can have a 6-pack. So I think it is between about 5 and 6 divisions. We're gonna go ahead and put the belly button in here and do that. And then where the belly button's at, there's typically a division. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll do 5, 6 here. Alright, and we're looking pretty good here. Alright. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and so that was my place that I have on my website. Let's go ahead and jump back to some peaceful, calm music. This is Game Chops. If you guys are interested in this sound, you guys can follow them on YouTube. They have a whole bunch of different artists that contribute. But it's great, chill, drawing music, so. Okay, so I'm gonna open up a website called Pose Maniacs, and this is one of my favorite websites for studying anatomy, because they have a great tool to be able to rotate the body around and kind of just see what's exactly going on with the body and everything like that. So what we're going to do is we are going to just find some standing poses, because that is currently what I need to look into. Let's see if I can. Okay, so yeah. So we got some standing poses. We're gonna draw the torso a little bit more. Just to understand these torsos, just to understand the muscles a little bit more clearly. So external oblique, and rectum abdominis and the serratus is going to come into here, which is your your lower oblique muscles, and your latissimus dorsi. Just doing something like that. So upper and lower external oblique. Depends how many you have here, but we can see maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 latissimus dorsi things kind of coming out. I think 4 will be enough. One, two, three, four. Alright, so let's take a look at drawing the legs as well. Okay, so I'm just paying attention to how muscles are inserting into one another right now, more than anything. Um, and yeah, instead of worrying about the names so far, I'm just noticing the muscle insertions and the muscle groups. I'm noticing this kind of division between these like two pairs of muscles. I know in the bottom half that's the calves, but these upper muscles right here underneath the gluteus maximus. I notice it kind of is divided into these two like sections. It's got kind of like these, muscle fibers here, and these come down and around this inside back of the knee. So I'm really trying to make sure I get that in there. And then this muscle is gonna define that form. And I need to show this actually coming out slightly more, and the fact that these muscles kind of create this divot where our tendon sits, and these tendons are very visible because it creates that cavity right in the back of your knee. So just kind of paying attention to that. Okay, and just kind of drawing this in. what's up, man? Oh, no worries for being later on time. This is kind of a test stream, right? And right now I'm just working on some anatomy. I don't have anything specifically planned, like teaching wise for today. So it's kind of just to work on some artwork, catch you guys up with some updates, and yeah, just get some practice going, and making sure all my equipment is set up properly. So I actually had to spend like 30 minutes this morning just setting up my streaming computer, and making sure everything was here plugged in correctly, making sure my internet was good, my audio was good, my video was good, making sure all the programs and stuff that I needed were downloaded correctly, and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, I can kind of go back through and talk about them a little bit. But yeah, there was mainly 3 things I've been, busy with and working on. The first thing was conventions. I've done about 3 conventions since the last time I even streamed. So I was at Gem City Comic Con, DreamCon, and MatsuriCon. They all went pretty well. I managed to break even at each, so that's always like a sigh of relief. Once I hit that mark, I'm good for like the rest of the weekend, and most of the times I hit it on like Saturday, so they went well. So that was one of the big things I was doing, and I also made some new artwork to prep for it. So I can showcase that a little bit. But yeah, so I was working on some new artwork for those conventions, just like some promo art and like fan art, that kind of thing. Because I wanted to have some new stuff for this MatsuriCon, because I did MatsuriCon last year as well, which is kind of crazy to think that I've done like a full year now of like conventions. So I have that under my belt, and that experience under my belt. And then the last big thing, and this honestly was taking the big chunk of time, and I wasn't streaming because of it. It was coding some new website pages. So I'm using the same website host, but I created some custom pages from scratch, and I can go ahead and kind of showcase that again. I am probably overly excited about it, but I did spend a lot of time creating it, and so I am trying to show it off as much as possible. I'm going to be promoting it a little bit more on my social media once I make the mobile changes that I want to, and I should be able to hopefully complete that today after I finish up with streaming here. But yeah, so I was making this website. Let me go ahead and throw it up on the screen. So let me make sure this is actually showing. It is. Good. So here is the current iteration of this website. So before, I just had this page, which was basically where the comic is hosted. So you can go forward and backwards through the pages. We have an animated background, whatever, pretty simple, straightforward. And I have this archive page. So I added in 3 new pages for the website. The first one is the blog. And this is basically my one-stop shop for everything. So for people that are interested in what I'm up to, this is going to be constantly updated because it's pulling in live from different websites. So for example, I have my newsletter down here in the bottom left. So that's just pulling in all the stuff that I've been writing, and it's going to show the 3 latest things that I've written, and people can go in and click on that. Read up about what I'm working on, that kind of thing. And that updates live when I post and send out a newsletter via my email, Substack. This will be updated here on the website as well. And then in the middle, I created a custom Tumblr embed, which is pulling directly from my Tumblr account. Let me turn this down just a little bit. And so here you can see like updates with new YouTube videos, new artwork that I'm creating, that isn't necessarily a new comic page. So this is kind of like the miscellaneous stuff, but it does have to do with like my art or like the story or that kind of thing. So here's some of the new pieces that I was making via the time I was absent. And I didn't have a chance to stream it because I was working on these things kind of on the go. So this was a commission I did for Matsuricon. Here's a new piece I made for Matsuricon. And keep on scrolling down. I created a Hobie Brown print as well. This one was for DreamCon. This one did pretty well. I'm pretty excited about that. I did small prints and like larger prints, and the small prints did like really well. Sold out of those, so I have to do reprints. And so yeah, this is gonna be consistently updated. So what I'm telling people now, especially when I'm at conventions and stuff, like if you want to keep track of what it is that I'm up to, this is the place to be. So I spent like a couple weeks, maybe like a month, over the summer, just every day programming for like 6 hours or so, just waking up and kind of getting to it. It's looking at the code now, it's like, okay, well that's pretty simple, but there's lots of things that you have to do, little things, bugs that pop up, that kind of thing. So this was all done using HTML, CSS grid, and a little bit of JavaScript here and there. And then over here to the right, I can go ahead and pause this. I was kind of showcasing this a little bit earlier in the video, but I have an embed from my Bandcamp, so people can kind of listen to any kind of new music that I'm creating as well. I literally just uploaded like 10 what I call like beat snacks yesterday, so that people could come in and listen to some music, kind of get the vibe that I'm going for, right? And then I also have the shop, which this is going to open up a new tab, and I'm using Square for my web store, but people can make purchases from here. I do need to make a few updates. I'm sold out of a few keychains, so some of these aren't available, but yeah, people can see the catalog of all the merch that I have. And finally, I created a portfolio that isn't necessarily fully fleshed out yet, and because I just haven't added in all the pieces, but yeah, here's what the website kind of looks like, or this is what the portfolio looks like, and then I even have some like hover over actions, like animations, and this is where I plan to like host like my final pieces. And then when I'm applying for conventions and stuff, I'm hoping that I could use this as a way to just like, hey, here's my portfolio, it's directly on my website, so then they can also go to my other links and just see everything that I have. So yeah, that was pretty much the idea, just like a one-stop shop for everything, just to try to really gain some like cohesion of like, yeah, I'm on Tumblr and I'm on Bandcamp and I'm on Instagram and I'm on YouTube and I have this and that. It's like there's so many different things, and I didn't only not want other people to be overwhelmed with how many places that I'm on, but I didn't want to feel like overwhelmed either. So like even though I'll still be kind of posting to these different places, at least everything will be congregated into one spot. And so if people want just like a quick overview of like what was done in the past month, they can come in here and see like the completed goals, the new music, the new artwork, the new newsletters. And when I start updating the comic, they can jump over to like the latest section and also see the latest pages. So I'm pretty pumped about like how it's all like coming together. But yeah, as you can imagine, that took a little bit of time to put together and whatnot. So I was like, let me put streaming to the side and everything else to the side, and let me just like focus in and just like get this stuff done. So that's what I've been up to. Yeah, yes, a musician, sort of. I would say like a hobbyist musician. I'm not trying to be a professional or anything like that, but I just want to have fun with it. I want to make sure that I can start to nail in some of the vibes that I want for like the story and just like my aesthetic overall. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you're right. I played some piano live for you guys, like maybe 1 or 2 times. But yeah, sometimes you'll see me kind of sneaking in some stuff. Yo, what's good, Ayo? Ayo? What's up? What's good? Ooh, we got updates too. Let me, yeah, feel free to type in some of them updates into the chat. And I can kind of read them out. But yeah, what's everyone kind of been up to? Are you guys working on new projects? You're working on the same projects you were before? How's stuff going? I need the updates. Okay, so right now I want to draw like the inside of the leg just to kind of understand a little bit what's going on here. So this wraps around into the inside knee like this. This calf muscle comes out, second calf muscle comes out. So something like that. And just kind of follows the wrapping of this. And knee. Yes, exactly. It's like, yeah, it's like a win-win. So, yeah, I don't have to worry about those copyrights, and I can make something really like specific to what it is that I'm working on. So, and it's also kind of a lot of fun to do when I do have time. Like, music is really relaxing for me. Maybe even more relaxing than drawing. I don't know. I guess it just depends on what I'm drawing and if I'm like drawing for myself or for someone else. But yeah, typically I find music to be a great like activity to just kind of let my mind wander a little bit and play on some keys. Piano is my main instrument. I haven't quite learned anything else yet at the moment. But I think it would be awesome to learn the drums and like guitar, like ukulele. My partner has a ukulele. You can get some nice sounds with that and stuff. Okay, so it's kind of the inside leg here. And we're just kind of noticing how this muscle wraps around. And the muscle that I'm talking about right now is this one right here. so I want to pay attention to that. The art I was posting wasn't really me. As in, it wasn't my true style. I don't know how to explain it. I was taking requests from other people and redrawing them, not knowing really what to do. Ooh, I've kind of been in that situation before, and also I'm feeling pretty excited and happy about my style now. But there's definitely been a lot of time where I'm just still just trying to find, my artistic voice, so to speak. And certainly when you're doing like redraws or studies from other people, they can be great learning experiences, but sometimes I don't feel like it can give you the space that you need to really like explore your own art style and see what it really should be. I haven't even really done this fully myself yet, but I feel like the best way to really get into your style would be literally just not be online for like a good solid like couple months or maybe even a year, and just literally just draw on your own, and try not to get like influenced by what you're seeing in terms of art, but just really trying to focus in on your own like mind's eye. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling. Let me see what you're actually typing up. So after I finished my Q&A video as celebration for reaching 200 subs. Okay, congrats, 200. Let's go. That's awesome. I think I've said this before. The first 100 are like kind of difficult, but then once you reach that, barrier, or past that barrier, so to speak, I think it's kind of like a lot more smooth sailing. At least that's what I kind of noticed. So congrats on that for sure. So I'm gonna take some time off to draw. Yeah, see, that's always a good thing too. Like, I really did miss streaming and whatnot, but I'm definitely going to be giving myself time to just not necessarily always be in like the schedule of things and like posting things and being really present online. Like, I think it's for me, it's a lot of fun to help kind of build that community and give some resources and help, inspiration, and vice versa, because I love, seeing that from other people as well. But taking that time for yourself, where you're not worried about the speed at which you're drawing or what you're posting or how you're presenting or anything like that, where you get to just be a little bit more messy. Because like when I'm creating concept art and I'm really like into it, I'm probably not going to be streaming, because I'll probably, one, be sounding like a crazy person, but also it's just like a very messy and personal process. And so when I'm doing these streams, I'm trying to have a little bit more like focus and structure, so people have, something to look at while I'm drawing. Okay, so we're gonna draw on that kneecap right there. Thank you for your comment, Ayo. I'm trying to return to the mindset where I was little and I just draw whatever I wanted, not caring. I'm just gonna draw the wacky imagery that's in my head, which I have plenty of, but I'm too scared to draw. Yeah, and I think it's important to have like, I actually should do this a little bit more myself. But anyways, I think you should have like almost 2 sketchbooks or like 2 places where you draw, like a place where you draw where you don't expect anyone to see or ever to see, and just be really, really raw about what it is that you want to try, you know what I mean? And having an idea in your head and putting it on the page, no matter how bad you think it may look, like if it's not rendered very well, or just how crazy you think the idea is, or just goofy it is, or if it seems too childish. Like art is a place where you have to be extremely honest with yourself and what it is that you like and would like to see, because after you put it out there, then you can change into a different mindset and say, well, was that really what I was trying to go for? Is that really what I wanted to express? Is that really like who I am? Da 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 da. Like there's so many questions you can ask after you do it, but you have to give yourself like that space, and time, and also just like mental, something, a mental like break, or like mental freedom, basically, to not be judgmental of yourself. Because there's so many times you have that voice in the back of your head of like, oh, people are gonna, think this, that this doesn't look good, or that this needs to be changed. But when you silence that, and you're actually not around people that would even make comments without you even asking, you give yourself a lot of creative like freedom to find your own artistic style, your own colors, your own palette, your own expressions, your own, environment. I mean, anything and everything, your own line styles. Once you realize that art truly is free of judgment of yourself and the art is subjective, it's almost like it's a weird feeling. It's almost like a huge weight is lifted, which I know sounds probably pretty exaggerated, but when you're truly in the art flow and you do not feel a sense of like judgment, or just feeling limited, you feel like you can almost like do anything. And again, I do realize that sounds kind of silly because it's just like art, but truly it expands what you think is possible inside and even outside of art. Once you realize like you have a lot of limiting beliefs that may not even be yours, but you may have adopted from, society or family or even friends, whatever. So I do think it's a good practice to kind of get into that like childlike state again, of drawing, and just be truly free with it, and do it without the concerns of having to post it anywhere or post it online, and just see what you come up with. You may come up with stuff that's like, wow, this is like not good, but if you had fun while you're doing it, it was worth it. And if it sparks some ideas of like improvement, then it's also worth it. So like one of the things that I've been more and more interested in, I guess, is falling in love with the process. And there's a lot of people that kind of preach that, but like truly making your process fun regardless of what the output is. And if you can get to that, then that's like, I don't know, that's like the best place to be in while creating artwork. you know, just enjoying yourself regardless of outcome. And you know, you probably will perform better, but it's not even about performing better, it's just about having fun. And that actually rings true for a lot of things. It's not even just like creating art. I played tennis in high school, and I had a lot of performance anxiety. And if I was able to adopt that mindset a little bit better of just like having fun with it, each match, just like not worried about the outcome, if I won or if I lost, or you know what my coach thought of my skills or abilities, and I literally was just in it for myself, you know, kind of like I tell people to like be selfishly like selfless, because when you're that kind of selfish and you're just worried about, you know, having fun, doing like the right thing and learning, then a lot of the anxieties and stuff that we can face as artists and just like humans in general can kind of start to disappear a little bit. Sorry, I'm going on like a huge tangent, but I'm kind of going on the tangent because I'm just like drawing, and I haven't looked down at the chat in a little bit. Hey, morning, Kage. How's it going? By the way, I really like the new piece that you posted. It's looking good. I can definitely see like the improvement that you've made, and the summer of improvement has really paid off for sure. Just like perspective and proportions and movement and everything. All right, let's see here. Okay, so Ayo said, same, I still do that, but I've been told if you do that, you don't get better, so I kind of stopped. So I feel like I don't actually believe in that advice. If you do that, you don't get better. Like if you draw as if, you know, you're a child and you're just kind of playing with artwork. Now, this really depends on how you define progress, how you define getting better. For some people, getting better means having better like technical skill, right? And like, is your line quality better? Is your rendering better? But you know, rendering and your technical abilities is personally how I define art. I think that's like, you know, 5%, 10% of like, you know, the goal or the outcome. When it comes to art, I really feel like it's more about the subject matter and what you're putting into it and how you feel about the piece, more so than the, you know, technical end result. But I do understand that from a business standpoint, from like capitalism standpoint, and from just how the general public views you and your art, they're just gonna look at the technical aspects, the rendering, and be like, this person is or is not a good artist. But as an artist ourselves, I think we need to put more value on getting better, meaning we are more connected with the art that we are creating, regardless and despite of what other people think of it, and whether they would shill out $1 or so for it, right? And I think it's important for some artists to maybe distinguish the two and say, okay, well, this is like the art business side of things, and so I will improve the technical and the rendering specifically for this because I know people want this and are going to pay for this. But I think there needs to be a separation from that and like your true self and your true art and what it is that you really actually want to sit down and draw, because you can get better at both of those things, right? You can get better at the art business side, of course, but you can also get better at like the expressing yourself side and being more in the moment and being more in tune with what it is that you're creating. And so I disagree with that advice simply for the fact that you can get better by drawing quote unquote like a child does, and just whatever wacky idea comes to mind, you draw it. And then you can kind of combine both of those things together, where okay, now you have this wacky thing, and hey, maybe it's not rendered that well, but you have the idea, you have the expression now. Maybe then for your art business, you take that pure expression and you render it in a way that's like, appeasing to the larger public eye. You know what I mean? And so it's like in that way, you're getting better at both, and you don't feel like you're ever, sacrificing, your kind of like childish or childlike take on art, which honestly, to be honest with you, I personally think being childish and childlike, quote unquote, is a more honest expression, more pure form of what it is that you should be doing. And I don't think it should be looked down on in any respect or any regard. I think people should actually hold on to that a little bit more closely, and I think we would get some more interesting things coming out. You know what I mean? I feel like we would get a little bit more authenticity, and yeah, so I don't know. I encourage that. I for sure encourage that. I don't know. I haven't had a, let's see, a traditional, art learning journey or experience. I never went to art school, that kind of thing. But that's just personally how I feel and how I kind of view things. So definitely take it with a grain of salt if you're trying to do something different, if you have different goals in life and whatnot. But that's just kind of me speaking for myself. So don't feel like I'm trying to say like, oh, we'll do this or don't do that, and this is better, this is not better. Decide for yourself what's better for you. I just want to offer a different perspective, a different way of viewing your art. So okay, I've been drawing these legs and torsos for a while. I think I'm gonna go ahead and switch gears a little bit. We're gonna switch gears and we're gonna switch up music, I believe. Alright, it's kind of looking back here in the comments again. Maya says, even if it's suitable to post, I'll still draw it. I tried it recently and it was super cool. Yeah, definitely keep going with it. It was like an emaciated guy in a twisted ballet-like pose with spiky black hair and lots of long, thick metal needles stuck in one side of him. It was so fun and freeing to draw. When I was done, it was like, hey, I made something that came from me. Man, that sounds nice. In reality, I draw a lot of dark things, but I'm in a good state of mind when I draw them. LOL, wouldn't describe it as nice, but thanks. I would like people to see it. I'm just scared to post on YouTube because it might be mistaken for a particular kind of image I didn't intend, since he's covered in needles and stuff. Oh, that's fair. I don't know about like the whole like self-harm and those kinds of guidelines and stuff. I'm also returning to all of things that inspired me in the past: Legend of Zelda, Norse mythology, Marvels, Thor, etc. It doesn't sound exaggerated or silly at all. Thanks. Um, well, I think it's connected to my entire life. I'm going through lots of things. I'm questioning everything I believe since I converted to a new religion. Sorry for sharing personal stuff. It's okay. No, you good. You good. But I think it's contributing a lot. That's why I don't want to be an artist as my profession. Yeah, that's kind of the same with me. I'm kind of technically a full-time artist right now, but I'm more so a full-time artist to do what it is that I want to do. And the income, although it would be nice, I'm very appreciative of all the support that I've gotten, going to conventions and people purchasing my online sketchbooks and things like that. Like, helps me pay rent and get groceries and stuff. However, like, I don't want to put the burden of living onto my artwork. And so, I'm doing some like part-time stuff as well to make income. So that way I never have to feel like my art is, bringing in my livelihood. Kage said, appreciate you, fam. I walked in on Mega giving giving the good word this morning, lol. I guess I'm learning a little bit from Brother Brandon. I feel like artistic expression and skill are separate. Skill can help the first, but if you only have skill, your art is kind of dead. Yeah, exactly what I was thinking, except like put into very concise words. Well, he is the art messiah. Yes. But yeah, I mean, I know most people, and I'll reiterate this again, I know most people know that like the art messiah is kind of like, what's the word? Almost like satire in terms of like, I I don't believe myself that high and mighty, of course. So it's kind of just like a play on, it's kind of just like a play on things, and then sometimes I like lean into the ridiculous, just to kind of get myself started, if that makes sense. And so that's what the Art Messiah was like all for. It was like, how do I start? How do I have the confidence to do something that's like just go 0 to 100 like real quick, and just believe that you're like this thing that you're not. But as someone that is, one, like introverted, and two, like I personally think I think too much about other people. This was like my only way to kind of break from that kind of like kind of personality, like that base level, right? And I needed something to kind of balance that out. And so I purposely chose a name that would suit it. And that's for like new people. I know people that already know me, like already know that, but that's kind of where the name comes from. I'm also figuring out what kind of art I really want to make, and when I say this, I do not want to sound like I'm putting others down. I don't really want to draw fan art or just portraits of my OCs and stuff like that. I want to make serious art. I don't know what it's called with the accidentally sounding self-superior. I mean, I get what you're saying, and I don't think that's putting others down, because you're just stating it for yourself. It's not like saying, oh, like all fan art is bad, or like I don't understand why people draw fan art. Fan art has its place in time, and then also figuring out what you want to do has its place in time. I think everything informs, everything informs your life, your career path, your art path. And so it's basically just like saying what you're going to focus in on at this point in time. And so, yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing, or people are going to take that as a bad thing. I'll still probably do those things sometimes. Let's see. Welcome back, Ayo. We know what you mean. We know what you mean. I call myself the Gordon Ramsay of art. I think it's better to be the art messiah than that. And I'm actually the same personality type as Gordon Ramsay. Oh, Gordon. I mean, sometimes it's nice to like either really embrace your personality, or like try to just imagine you're something else, just to kind of give you that confidence to be able to like try something new or say something new or get yourself out of some kind of comfort shell or like bubble. Okay, so I kind of want to do something with this piece. I'm not entirely sure what that is just yet. But I want to use this piece on let's see, my website, and I also want to print it out and make like a cutout, a poster board cutout. Ayo, are you asking that question to me? How are you studying anatomy, by the way? Because I do have an answer for that probably, but I want to make sure that I'm actually okay. So yeah, how I'm studying anatomy, I will go through it kind of quickly, and I actually, since there's so many things that I'm like studying and working on and doing, I actually wrote it down like step by step how I'm studying anatomy, and I'm gonna try to just run through it because I don't have that writing down with me right now. But here's my approach, okay? So with anatomy, it seems complicated, right? There's a lot going on. What I like to do is I like to study one body part, like one muscle group at a time. So for example, we'll just come in here and talk about this for a little bit. The first thing that I really started with my anatomy tutorials is the torso. And so that was like my first anatomy or muscle group, right? And really it can be broken down into like your muscles in the front and then your muscles in the back, okay? And then the side view kind of helps inform how things are wrapping around. But what I would do is I would say, okay, I'm interested in the torso first, and I actually kind of recommend learning the torso first because that's how all your limbs flow out of, your torso. But anyways, I would draw the torso in your primary views. So that's a front view, that's a side view, and that's a back view. In doing each of those, I purposely broke down each of the muscles into, their names and their groups. So for example, for, this right here, we have our pectorals, your rectum, abdominis, and you have your, oh wait, is that correct? I know it's the abdominis. I don't know if the rectum prefix is correct. I am not like an anatomy professional, and the names aren't really important, to be honest. You have your serratus anterior, and you have your latissimus dorsi sitting here in the back, and that's kind of it. There's actually not that much there, and so you draw it from the front, and you try to draw the form. You try to figure out how how do these muscles bulge outwards, and how do they insert into the different muscles, okay? So at that point in time, I'm not so worried about proportion. I'm worried about just the muscles and where they insert. Then I draw it from the side. I do the same kind of thing. I'm like, okay, this is the muscle. This is where it inserts. This is which muscle overlaps which. And I'm taking mental notes as I go around. But what could be better is actually taking physical notes of like, hey, this muscle inserts here, try to remember this, try to remember that. Okay, so I do the 3 major views, and then I try to draw those views from memory, and I try to test, did I remember where all the muscles were inserted? If I didn't, you draw them again. Once you get comfortable with just your primary views, I go onto a website called Pose Maniacs, and I literally just keep drawing view after view, slightly from below, slightly from above, slightly from the left to the right. And every time you notice something different, try to write that down and say, when you're in this kind of view, I notice that this muscle actually tends to wrap in and around in this direction and insert here. So you're really just like, through practice, through muscle memory, really just dialing in each of these muscle groups into your brain. And even if you're not very good at like imagining things, you can still have a working memory and like a muscle memory of like how things should go and how things should insert. But yeah, that's kind of my approach. I don't know if that's kind of helpful. That probably sounds, that sounded kind of complex now that I said it out loud, but truly it's about the repetition. And it is about practice. Obviously people are just saying, oh, how do you get better? You practice. But that's specifically how I practice to try to remember things. I also have this fear that my art will never be special or unique. Like even after I'm dead, no one will rediscover it and care about it. That's fair. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of artists out there, and like realistically, I'm thinking that maybe people won't care as much. Well, that's actually, it's probably actually realistic to think that no one's gonna care as much about your art as you care about your art. And I think we should also, since we know that's kind of true, we should also value our art more than other people value our art, and really appreciate what we're doing here and now, regardless of what the future may hold for your artwork. But I do think that everyone has a unique perspective. There's going to be lots of overlap. There's lots of humans, but that's how we also kind of grow from each other. And so that overlap is actually probably what's going to help you to connect with people and for people to remember what it is that you're doing, right? Because they might be trying to do something, adjacent. And they're like, I really like this person's stuff, and they've really helped me, and they've really inspired me. I think that if being remembered is a priority, I'm just spitballing right now, so like don't take this and be like, oh yeah, I really need this. I think something that could be helpful is like actually attaching your artwork to a story, that will be well remembered. Because just like think about the stories that you really love and how you talk about it with families and friends, and even old stories still exist today, and old artwork still exists today as well. But it's really about your impact on other people. And if people take a look at your stuff and are like, wow, like that changed the way I look at things, or anything like that. I mean, of course you could be known for like negative things too, but I imagine most people don't want to do that, and I would encourage people not to do that. We're trying to bring some more light into the world. But yeah, so yeah, since it's important to you that you like to help people through art, and studying extremely intense personal feelings of all kinds, to try to help people by using reverse optimism. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people can connect to the reverse optimism, because it doesn't feel like you're being preached at. When someone's optimistic and telling you to be optimistic, you're just kind of like, please, like, you, like, even if they know what you're going through, like, it's still like not as helpful as if they were to able to kind of meet you where you're currently at and currently feeling. You know what I mean? Um, I think that's like the beauty of art and also the beauty of music. 'Cause I know like people really connect with like music in that way. So okay, yeah, let me keep reading. Which would be instead of looking to the bright side, looking at all the darkness and reaching through and finding light. If you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I think so. It's like creating something relatable, while still maintaining a like either a light at the end of the tunnel, or even if something is like really horrible, still just giving people the comfort that one, it's okay, and two, other people might be feeling the same thing, and so that you're not alone. Because I think the loneliness aspect of feeling is the kind of like the worst part of it. It's like, man, like, am I the only one going through this, or am I the only one seeing this, or you know what I mean? Yeah, for sure. I want people to introspect and confront everything dark and painful and disgusting inside them and actually use it to get better. Like trauma becomes a motivation to help others. And by the way, I don't have trauma. I just see other people destroyed and damaged by it, and I know it doesn't have to be that way. Yeah, I think that's something that'd be really cool to explore. Yes, thanks. I probably shouldn't fear it as much as I do. I didn't win the fashion show I was in months ago, but I astonished everyone who watched. One woman came up and said I was a winner. Before, I had been one of a few chosen to go to a separate show, and I made a splash. People came from that show to the other show to see me. I'm gonna go to the gym, see y'all. I'll come back if we're still streaming or catch your next stream. It was really nice meeting you guys and helpful too. Yeah, it was nice meeting you too. I'm sorry if you've already departed. But yeah, have a good time at the gym. Good luck. And for those of you that are here, I do want to get back into streaming. I think Wednesdays are going to be my days. I'm just still determining whether it's going to be morning or evening. I'm kind of liking the morning stream. It's just kind of more, I don't know, calm, peaceful for me. It's like something I do as soon as I wake up. And then I still have the rest of the day ahead of me. But yeah, kind of look out for that on Wednesdays. The design was unique. It came from me. I didn't copy. It was different from everyone else. Not putting myself above others. Like it was a whole different style. This kind of reverse optimism is actually dissecting their emotions and figuring out, why do I feel this way? Let me investigate. Yes. I think investigation and introspection is very important for a lot of people because we have a lot of stuff to unpack in our lives. We have a lot of stuff to unpack from, childhood and from work and just from all over the place. I actually might start wrapping up the stream here soon. I may go to about 11. But I'm getting hungry for sure. I can feel my stomach growling, so I'm gonna need to get some food here soon. Maya says, I've experienced similar things. I'm confronting all of the mental damage that's been inside me for a long time, but I've never dissected it, and I feel much better simply from knowing what's going on. Yeah, that's like half the battle. just knowing what you're feeling, knowing what you're going up against, and just being able to dissect stuff for yourself so that you can both help other people out, but also help people understand what you're struggling with and be able to kind of help yourself, and also set things in your life that are gonna help you become and achieve what you want to do, and do the same for other people as well. Yeah, I should probably be doing other things. LOL. Yeah, I need to get some breakfast, y'all. I'm kind of running on fumes. I had a yogurt. I had a Greek yogurt, but my original thing was gonna be to like stream to 10:30. So yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here. But this was gonna be, I'll probably do this off stream, or maybe during next stream. But I'm working on the background for my website. So currently it's this background right here, and this was also done pretty quickly, but I want to make a kind of like final version, and like make it really clean. I want that pixel style, but I want it to look like a workstation, like a work desk. So my idea was to like finalize this at some point in time. But yeah, this is one of the things where I know I'm gonna need like the correct energy for, because this is gonna be like the tedious type of thing that's just gonna take like hours for like no good reason. But I'm gonna try to keep it simple, and even though I'm gonna clean it up, I'm gonna still try to have it be a little bit rough, simply so I'm not like wasting too much time. But yeah, so yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and wrap it up. Do some like closing thoughts or whatever. So yeah, streams, they're gonna be on Wednesdays, for the most part. I'll try to get better at updating like the YouTube and Instagram so people know like kind of what's going on. Again, for any new people that might be here, my website is live. I want to say that it's in my description now, so you can find it via the link. Yes, it is in the descriptions of like hopefully all my videos. You can get to the site and you just click on the blog and you're going to be able to get to this. So yeah, there's that. That's a good way to stay up to date. And outside of that, I don't really have too much else to say, but I do want to say a big thank you to everyone coming out today and just kind of chilling with me and having fun. We are going to be back to anatomy videos soon for those of you that are interested. I think I did a poll or something like that on my Instagram, and it sounded like people were interested in the tutorial side of things. So I'm going to try to get back to that. And we're going to be doing new artworks, and got a lot of cool stuff coming up that I'm really excited about. So now that conventions are over, I'm really hoping to be able to get back into this ignition stuff, this anatomy stuff, and like tutorials I'm gonna do, but I'm hoping that's like on the side, like, you know, it's like an hour or two here and there, right? But I have to code basically it's a script reader. It's like a custom code. If you guys are familiar with visual novels, I'm basically creating my own kind of program to do visual novels the way I want to do it, and with the interactions and music that I want to do it. So anyways, I have to finish recoding that because I've switched platforms I'm using. I won't get into the technical details because it's both boring and also just that technical. But yeah, in terms of things to look out for new videos. We're gonna need to get these streams going again, and Ignition's gonna come back. It's coming back. It's coming back. Been too long. Been too long. Live chat has moved. Where's live chat? Now here it is. Yeah, so, yep. Yeah, I appreciate you guys coming through. Yes, Kage, breakfast time for sure. And may I keep fighting that monster. Keep fighting that monster. It's a journey. Life's a journey. The art journey is a journey. Like everything's can be a battle, but hopefully we all get to the place that we're trying to get to. So good luck to you guys the rest of today and also the rest of this week. We will reconvene in another week to check back in, see how everyone's doing. I know everyone's got a lot on their plate, is doing a lot, so y'all got this. Take breaks when you need it, eat when you need it. That's what I'm about to do. So again, take it easy. It was great chilling with you guys for a little bit and just kind of getting back to it. And I will see you guys around, either in your streams or your videos or just online in general. So take it easy. Peace, and see you later, fam.